Hey guys, Nathaniel here. I guess we'll go ahead and get set up. So what we're going to be doing today is getting set up for getting our Git hooks set up. So we're going to go all the way from the beginning. So this is an empty Meteor project into something that is sustainable. Something where you can have consistent dev environments, consistent coding practices, and then consistent standards throughout. So let's start. What we're going to start off with is a simple Meteor create. So we go ahead, Meteor create whatever. I'm calling this file deeds. I've already gone ahead and created it. So it's right here. I've got some simple stuff in it. So I've got an npm debug log, so let's delete that. So I've got a package.json. Looks very small, anemic you could say, with a names, a private, scripts with a Meteor run as the starting script, not super useful. Along with client, with some HTML and the main.js, the old Meteor file, the Git file, and the server. We get ignored the node modules. So, vanilla. What we want to do to this is we want to get it up and running. But before we write code, before we go ahead and smash our fingers against the keys, the thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we're writing the type of code that we like, that we are somewhat proud of. So we want to ensure consistency not only for us, but other developers that will work for us, or with us, or whatever. So the way that we're going to do this is using the package.json. So we're going to have something fairly unified. So let's get this set up. You can go ahead and write this all yourself. I think a super simple way to do this is go ahead over to the old Meteor to-dos, go find its package.json, and just copy it all in. So I'll just copy it in like this. Okay, I'm going to go over slightly what this package.json entails. So I've been looking for a good link for the history of package.json, what it started as and what it is now. There's plenty of docs on what it is now. If anyone has a good link for sort of the history and how it formed, I would love that. Please do comment and share it with us. But here's what we got right now. We start off with, let's sort of skip some stuff, some dependencies. So we go ahead and we remember package.json is intimately connected with npm, so node package manager. So we go ahead and we get all the node dependencies that we want in the dependencies, and we get all the dev dependencies. These are node packages that we're going to be using to develop. So remember, we set a consistent environment. So consistent code means we list our dependencies, and a consistent development experience means we list our development dependencies. Consistent code also entails another thing, and that is similar style. And with Meteor, we're going to be extremely opinionated. So we're going to go ahead and use Airbnb's style guide, which is heavily opinionated, with the ESLint config. So we've got some extra stuff, and you'll notice some important stuff here like no_dangle. I'm not going to go over all of these options, but this one would be specifically for the ._ID field. So it doesn't, normally Airbnb doesn't like that, prefixing things with an underscore, but Meteor seemed to like that, so we're going to override that. The final thing that we'll notice here, well, there's also this sort of stuff, post CSS. I'm not going to be going over that sort of stuff, but the final thing that you'll notice is scripts. These are the things that we're going to start off with. We're going to focus on immediately. So we talked about a consistent development experience. So part of that is having unified tools, but another part of that is having unified commands, a unified system of commands that we can call. One way that you could do that is you could just write them all down somewhere. But another way is you could write them down right here. So we've gone ahead and we've listed out all of these tools that we might want to use. So we've got pretest, test app. You'll notice that these things can be dependent. So pretest will always be called before you call test. So if you call npm run test, it will run pretest before it. You can put anything in here. You can even, for example, the pretest is you run the lint command right here. So we want to make sure all these things work. In order to make sure they all work, we just need to do something pretty simple. So let's we just need to install some dependencies here. So we need to install Practical Meteor Chai, Mocha, which is the runner, Mocha Phantom.js, and then we also need to install Mocha here. So I can go ahead and show you what this looks like. Let's stash these things before we go on. Git stash, and then check out. Okay. So this is the exact same thing. We've got our package.json. The only thing that I've done differently is now, within the Meteor file, I've gone ahead and I've added a few packages. Just a little bit easier. I don't want to have you wait while I'm loading these things up. And I've added one test. And you'll see why I add this test in a minute. So if we go over to client, and we click on main.test, you'll see I have this very simple test. It's asserting true equals true. So we've got the basic framework for what we're going to want to do. Everything's set up, but we've not done anything. We've ensured everyone can access the same tools, but we've not enforced it. So what we're going to do over the next 3 videos is enforce everyone uses these same tools. So everyone uses the exact same style. Everyone goes ahead and uses the exact same test, and everyone makes commits in the exact same way. So this means you'll have consistency throughout. Remember, we're going for a consistent dev environment. Okay, so I hope that was somewhat useful for just setting up. If this is all sort of old news, that's totally fine. Please skip ahead to the next videos, and we'll go ahead and show how you can maintain this consistent development environment. Okay, thank you guys.